God, grant us the vision of our country, fair as it might be, country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thoughts, sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen.
Amen.
Kindly bring in the nominee. Yeah.
I should down ball life.
Kindly administer the oath.
I, William Owuraku, Aidoo,
Swear by Almighty God
swear by Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable William Owuraku Aidoo, this is your third term as a member of Parliament, and this is the second term you are appearing before this committee.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, and you are nominated by the President to continue in the same position as you were vetted for 4 years ago. Now, first, on behalf of the committee, I congratulate you on your nominations. Second, kindly tell us briefly about yourself. A lot of the things, we know them already. If there's any new thing that we must know in the last 4 years, kindly focus on that. Otherwise, we'll move on to ask you questions relating to your ministry as urgently as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Basically, I'm an Ashtown boy who had the opportunity to attend the famous Opoku High School. And yes, the famous Opoku High School. And the rest, Mr. Chairman, is basically on the CV that is, I believe, in front of all members of the Honorable Committee.
Yes, tell us what you've done, which committees you served on in the 3 parliaments you've been a member of.
Mr. Chairman, I served in the 6th Parliament in the Energy Committee and the Privileges Committee. The last, so that's the 7th Parliament, I served on the Business Committee and the Foreign Affairs Committee. And currently, I'm on the Legislative Subsidiary Legislation Committee and a Parliamentary Committee.
In this parliament, which committees are you serving on?
Parliamentary Constitutional Committee and Subsidiary Legislation Committee.
Very well. And you were a member of Ghana's delegation to the EU, to the UK, to Russia, to UAE, Georgia, India, Mauritius, Morocco, Philippines, Togo, Benin. Now tell us, what is it that we can learn, or you learned, from being a part of this delegation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. being on or leading the committees that have been listed, as you have enumerated, afforded me the opportunity to learn from my colleagues from other countries on various, at various conferences. And most of these were related to renewable energy conferences. And I do believe I picked up a few tips on how Ghana should go ahead with our renewable energy space.
Yes, we are interested in the tips you picked. What is it that Ghana can do differently? And how do you intend to assist your minister to advance what you saw that we can do differently?
I had the opportunity to co-chair the IRENA, International Renewable Energy Conference in Abu Dhabi. I've attended that several times, and this particular organization have held different meetings at different countries, and I have learned a lot, like I said earlier, to do with renewable energy. As we know, renewable energy is where every country is heading because of its impact on the climate and also the cost. Ghana, I've been involved in the Renewable Energy Authority that was passed, the bill that was passed recently, and my travels impacted, I like to think, a little in the formulation of that bill.
Honorable Minister, you are an Ashtown boy. You are from Wenchi. You are MP for Kwabre. If you went there and said renewable energy, how will they understand you?
Indeed. Renewable energy basically is the type of energy that is sustainable, that does not impact so much on the environment and the climate.
So in Ghana, which one are we interested in?
Ghana, we are basically Ghana. Everybody, when you talk about renewable energy, everybody talks about solar. But in addition to solar, we do have the wind. And in other parts of the world, other jurisdiction, the hydro is also referred to as renewable. Unfortunately, Ghana, hitherto, when we are talking about renewables, we do not include our Kosombos and our Bui and our Pung. But going forward, I like to think that we will be including these hydros in our renewables when we are calculating the percentage of renewables in our energy mix.
Honourable members, yes.
Chairman, let me just take it first. So, Chairman, thank you very much. So you are redefining renewable energy to include hydro. Is that the case?
Mr. Chairman, that is
in answering Chairman's question.
That's the global definition. And unfortunately, Ghana, when you ask anybody in the renewable space, you ask them about how much renewable percentage in the energy mix, they will tell you just over or just under 2%. And I'm saying that everywhere else...
Do we have a renewable energy policy in Ghana?
Absolutely.
Do we have a Renewable Energy Act?
Absolutely.
You are aware that you and your minister came to Parliament to amend the Bui Power Act. So I want you to respond to Chairman appropriately, knowing the steps that you have taken legally to contradict your own self in your definition of renewable energy. Bui is hydro. But you came to Parliament and said you wanted to give them a new mandate to be able to do renewable. Is that not the case?
Mr. Chairman, that is what I alluded to earlier, that it's something that we should look at it again.
So if it was renewable, why did you come asking that we change the law? I'm simply asking you because you were supporting the minister then in the same capacity as deputy minister. So To answer Chairman more practically, so where do we have this solar, this wind in Ghana? I know of some 20 megawatts somewhere. Where is it? Chairman wants you to be practical in explaining. Ghanaians want to understand the concept of renewable. But when you say solar, at least they will have some modicum of understanding what you mean of a renewable regime. Are the charges in the renewable sector lower and cheaper compared to thermal, and why? You want to explain that? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Some years back, the solar panels, basically the solar panels are these contraptions that absorb the sun rays and turn it into energy. Like I was saying, hitherto it was very expensive. But the last several years, the prices have plummeted by something in the region of about 70%, which has made it very, very attractive cost-wise. Ghana currently, we have solar panel farms, solar farms, somewhere around Winneba. We have at Kalio, and Bui too is embarking on 150 megawatts currently, which is in the process. And indeed, they've commissioned the first, I think, 15 megawatts or so.
Was there something for Navrongo, Chairman?
Yes, Navrongo has solar, but it's very small. I think it's about 2 megawatts in Navrongo.
Chairman, with your indulgence, let me now take the nominee. What's our percentage achievement in terms of expanding of access to rural electrification countrywide?
Yesterday, I heard you I was going over the vetting of my minister. You mentioned 83%. Indeed, it is more than that. We have currently penetration of something approaching 86%. It's 85 point whatever. That is current penetration within Ghana. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, you said you have some wind park in Winneba.
No, Mr. Chairman, I said solar.
Where?
Apam area, Winneba, Apam area.
No, because this, if it's Apam, we have Gomoa East, Gomoa Central, and Efutu. All right, so if it's Apam, it's Apam, because I don't think it is in Winneba. So you may check the records and then, okay, because there is nothing like that in Winneba.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe it's too far away from Winneba, so I thought that area was part of Winneba. So if I've got it wrong,
so
it's in the vicinity of Winneba. Apam and Winneba, they are not, the distance between the two towns
just for the record, with respect.
Yeah, Apam, Mr. Chairman.
It is in Apam.
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman, thank you very much.
Apam is Gomoa West. So Apam is Apam. And
yes,
not
Mr.
part
Chairman.
of Winneba. Thank you. Winneba is Winneba. And is the capital of Efutu. So
where you come from?
If Apam is the capital of Gomoa West constituency. So if it's in Apam, it's Apam.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I stand to be corrected.
Thank you.
Chairman, just still on rural electrification. You know what was the state as at December 2016 before you increase it to 86%? You have an idea, nominee?
It was something in the region of 81, 82%, if my memory serves me right, yes.
When do you anticipate assisting your minister for the country to achieve 100% coverage?
100%, I don't even believe United States of America has 100% coverage. Ghana, we are struggling right now because, as always, the last mile is the most difficult, and that is where we've gotten to. I do believe my minister, when he came before this August committee, alluded to the fact that we may have to resort to renewable energy for the most difficult parts of the country. So that, I believe, is where we will be heading. Apart from stringing lines to other communities, the difficult ones we may have to resort
to. I know that the minister does field work. If you take, for instance, Gushegu Karga, and you drive from Pico heading towards Gushegu Township. A number of those communities there are not connected to the rural electrification grid. If you go to the upper west region, you would have many communities still unconnected. You go to Bulsa like Yipala and Bulsa and Nanjumping, not connected. Now, so you see that in the deprived upper east, upper west, northern region, they still don't have access to electrification. What will you be doing with your minister to assist that they get connected and they benefit from this critical need? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do believe there is a turnkey project in the pipeline for about $50 million, which is earmarked for the northern regions alone. And when that is complete, I'm sure it will go a long way in addressing the gap between the northern part of Ghana and the southern part. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And Chairman, just drawing the minister, so if you take the Nalergo Northeast Loop, even though it will connect you to Cherpune going back to Yendi, a community like Akrape in Salga, unconnected to rural electrification, you come to the Cherpune area, many of the communities are unconnected. Are you giving this committee an assurance that they can count on you and your minister, assisting him as deputy minister, to ensure increased access to rural electrification?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, before I answer that question, I really would like the committee to understand, if I may put it that way, that it's not only the northern part of Ghana that is not connected, the communities are not connected. In the south, there are quite a number of communities that are also in the process of being connected. So going back to what leader said, yes, like I said, this company is TBEA. Once the project, the turnkey project, once it's approved and everything is in place, I really do believe that it will make a huge
Chairman,
difference.
I was leading the nominee there. I just got back from a funeral in the Volta region, and their complaint was we are still not connected. And for many of them, Deputy Minister, you are largely responsible for power, as I understand from my readings of your work as Deputy Minister. You have many communities where poles were installed as at end 2016, and they are still up to that state. I mean, I have a similar thing in the Tamale South constituency in Kakwa Ayile, where the poles have been standing. You are told that the engineer will come, the consultant will come, and the Kobelmago is unfinished. What will you do to bring closure to many of it, not just in the Volta region, including other communities in the central region? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do believe my minister has been briefed about the point you just made. I would suggest humbly to my minister for us to put a hold on contracting new projects. Because what I found during my time in the ministry was that we spread ourselves too thin on the ground. And we bring in materials, and the materials were woefully inadequate to cover all these areas. So going forward, I would suggest humbly to my minister that we should hold on giving new contracts and then concentrate on completing the existing ones that are ongoing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let me go the way Honorable Boama went yesterday. Direct question. So if your minister refuses, would you resign in protest as a matter of principle? No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Or let me take away protest. If he refuses, would you resign? Because you are saying this as a matter of principle, that you would advise strongly that you don't go for new contract. If the new minister, is of the view that no, I want to go the other way, because you feel strong about it, don't you?
Honorable member, if what I remember Honorable Yawama asked was, can you look your minister in the face and tell him the truth? Is that right? But putting him
This is
to-
your own path,
That's
not
so
your
it's your own
path.
path, not
This is your own
Honorable path.
Your own crooked path.
But well, as he says, if your suggestion is not adhered to, that if you want to answer that, please.
Chairman, this is his part with modification. It is his part with the necessary modification. So if he refuses your advice, will you resign?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as a deputy, if I am confirmed by this committee, my duty is to assist the minister and make suggestions. My suggestions are not necessarily to be taken by the minister. I just have to prefer what I think, and it's up to the minister to take it. But this suggestion I've just made, I think it's quite practical and commonsensical, that I do believe my minister will heed to it.
All right,
Thank
Chairman, still on. Did you play any role in the PDS transaction?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What was your role, and which committees did you chair? Which committees did you participate in the process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I did not necessarily chair any committee, but being the deputy in charge of power, I was privy to virtually everything that went on from the time that I came into office. Thank
Chairman, we are told that the current pressure, I won't call it doomsaw, it's pressure, has to do with Chairman. The current pressure is related to some dysfunctioning of the transmission regime, unlike doomsaw, which was largely a generation problem, and is attributable to government inability and the fact that PDS failed and the U.S. government through MIDA had to withdraw the dedicated $190 million, which was meant to expand the transmission network. Is that a statement of fact? And what do you know about this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, that is not the facts as I know them. The monies that the American government threatened to withhold had to do with bulk supply points at Kasua and Pokuase, which I believe they are still ongoing. So the American government was actually not happy with the truncation of the whole PDS saga, but it did not affect the Pokuase and Kasua bulk supply point. But to make the point, it really, the PDS thing had nothing or has nothing to do with the transmission challenges that we are having right now.
All right, so Chairman, still on it. Agent Français de Développement, forgive my pronunciation, is also saying that some adjustment in the tariff regime accounted for they also pulling out with some relationship with the Ministry of Energy in relation to the same transmission. Do you know anything about that? When you readjusted the tariffs?
The relationship between Gridco and the entity you mentioned really did not have too much to do with the tariff regime. Basically, Gridco did have, you can say that indirectly it had something to do with it. Gridco had challenges in meeting their obligations to the entity. But as you know, Gridco is working, and they've sorted out the difficulties.
Chairman, thank you. Did I hear you say Gridco is sound?
Gridco is what?
It's sound. Did I hear you say Gridco is sound?
I did not say that, Mr. Chairman, no.
What's the financial position of Gridco and ECG as you know today?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think it's no gainsaying in admitting the fact that there are serious challenges within the energy space, and Gridco and ECG being major stakeholders in the energy space in the country. Naturally, they are also having challenges financially.
Chairman, does the nominee want to share with this committee who owes who what? ECG, VRA, GRIDCO, to the best of your knowledge. Who owes who what? And how is that affecting the delivery of energy to the populace?
Mr. Chairman, I think we need a whole day to really try to decipher who owes whom, because there are some overlaps within the cycle of indebtedness in the system. So I would ask of you to permit me, if you may, to submit to the committee a detailed report. I cannot sit in here tell you exactly.
You have an idea what the state of their balance sheets are?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, the nominee is our colleague who is going to assist the Minister for Energy, and I note that he served in that capacity before, and I note that there are problems in the country with the efficiency of ECG. And you probably know the history why MIDA and the US government wanted private sector participation in the distribution of electricity. It was to curtail the unwanted wastes, to quote them, in the inefficiencies of ECG being passed on to consumers. What steps did you take, and what steps will you take assisting your minister to make ECG more efficient? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To start with, I do not know what schedule my minister is going to give me this time round. But talking about previously, we came in whilst the Compact 2 was in the offing. And I think you recall that His Excellency the President came in and he amended, renegotiated the whole compact, making the program, reducing it from 25 years to 20 years, also negotiating to prevent any compulsory redundancy within the ECG, and that really helped to reduce potential agitation by the workers. ECG has had problems with efficiency that has gone on for years, and the compact was to try and solve these inefficiencies. And unfortunately, we all know what came of the whole compact.
Thank you, Chairman. Has Ameri been handed over finally, and is it heading towards Kumasi? What informed that decision, the Ameri plant?
Ameri was always going to be handed over, Mr. Chairman, to the Republic of Ghana after the end of the contract, which has happened. And I do believe, yes, I've heard, because I haven't been to office, of course, since after the 7th of January, but I've read in the public space that, yes, Ameri will be sent to Kumasi to try and balance the grid. Since in the center of Ghana, we have problems there with the grid. And so Ameri going to Kumasi is going to help to stabilize the whole grid.
And Chairman, this is just a matter of further development. Are you aware that the transmission lines generally can be sources of broadband for purpose of internet connectivity and IT? And have you been approached, and what will government do to take advantage of it? Just you can extend broadband on the electricity connectivity, just the lines. Have you been approached, and what is government doing about it? Instead of us complaining that internet penetration in Ghana is low, broadband is low, you can help accelerate that. What will you do about that? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, I do believe when I was in office that ECG, using their distribution lines, were talking to some companies. And I do believe, I think some of their transmission lines are being used, albeit not to the optimum, being used for such the purpose. And I also believe that Greco lines are also able to do this broadband transmission. But exactly where they are at right now, I cannot say, I'm afraid, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman. I'm sure I should yield to some of our colleagues as we still warm our colleague through
Yes,
this
Honorable
scrutiny.
Bama.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. Warm up. Minority leader is warm up. And I'm quoting him. On 6 February 2020, minority accuses government of bloating cost of 360 million Pualugu project. Work on over 1 billion Pualugu Dam progressing to help halt flooding from Bagri Dam spillage. Dr. Baumia, Vice President. Construction of Pualugu multipurpose dam commences. You came to the House with this beautiful program, big budget. It has different components, power, irrigation, and to halt the spillage, to have good source of power for the good people of the northern region, improve upon agriculture or modernize agriculture through modern systems, irrigation, and what have you. What is the status of that project?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do believe, there was a little bit of a delay due to the Finance Ministry advancing some money. But I do believe that has been sorted, and Sinohydro is currently on site working. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, ordinarily I shouldn't do that to Honorable Patrick Buama, but once you quote the minority, it's good you share it all. In that quote, read further. I would have given analysis of how much it costs per unit to produce 1 megawatt of electricity, and I related it to the per unit cost of what was being offered, so that the public is not just taking away that I said bloated. Go further. So if you want to quote me well. Thank you, Chair.
Chairman, I was not being mischievous, but I was talking about how controversial that project is and how it generated that heated debate on the floor before. So I'm not quoting you in any wrong way. Just for the record, leader. I have with me the government's coordinated program of economic and social development policies, which came out of government's economic agenda. I think it's dated 20th October 2017. It's a program that government always comes out or produces from the directive principles of state policy. And on page 87, on energy and petroleum, specifically power, my brother, you've dealt in that space for the last 4 years. And let me quote what government said it was going to do. Government will also expand the provision of mini grids to lakeside and island communities in order to facilitate the productive use of energy and improve livelihoods in the communities. Afram Plains, Tano River, Pra, we've spoken a lot that we'll be building a lot of off-grid systems on those rivers. What have we been able to do in the last 4 years under your watch?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do not recall coming across Tano and Pra building off-grid on these rivers. What I do know is the Afram Plains. And indeed, there are 55 communities were earmarked for such projects. And I personally commissioned 2 of the projects, the off-grid projects. One at Pediakotope of, what is it? Yes, Pediakotope, and the other one in Kratchi East, there where I spent several hours on a lake in a rickety boat, very frightening stuff. So they are ongoing. The 55 communities are ongoing, being supported mainly by our donors. The Swiss in particular have done extremely well. The Spanish are helping, and the World Bank too is helping. So it's in progress. The 55 communities are in progress to benefit from the off-grid project. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, the nominee is our colleague, a gentleman by all standards, and I want to use this opportunity to wish him well. And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that.
Yes, I go first.
Under the NDC government, there was some effort to extend rural electrification to many communities in the Upper East region, and I'm focusing on the Upper East region. Since 2007, these projects have stalled. Towards the election in 2020, you brought a facility to Parliament to do a number of communities in the Upper East. I recall that 3 communities in my constituency were included. If you recall the debate that day, I mentioned those 3 communities and indicated that I had on my own already significantly advanced work in those communities, and you asked me to get in touch with the contractor when he gets on the ground. Up to date, the contractor has not reported at site to start anything. And this is about 8 months since the approval was done in Parliament. I want to know exactly what is the status of those projects, which you, I recall, brought the proposals to Parliament for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think I alluded to the fact earlier that there's a project by TBA for the northern regions, which Honorable Ayarge's communities are included. Unfortunately, there has been some delay. I think there's a problem with Sinosure, the Chinese insurance company for the Chinese-funded international projects. That, I believe, is being resolved between the Ministry of Finance and their counterparts on the other side. So as soon as that is done, Parliament has done its bit. We are ready for Sinosure to just do their bit, which they are dragging their feet a little bit. And once that is done, I am sure those communities will be amongst the ones that will be done expeditiously. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yesterday, during the vetting of the Minister of State nominee to the Ministry of Finance, there was an issue of a certain account between PDS and ECG. I'm reliably informed that in that account was lodged an amount of about $200 million. You can correct the figures if they are not accurate. And PDS, I'm told, and let's investigate this also, that the account is lodged with, I won't mention the bank's name, but I can give it to you later just to protect the bank for now. ECG has done everything to get the money transferred to them. PDS, I'm told, has refused to transfer the money to ECG. The money has been lying there. Interest is supposed to be accruing on the account. Yesterday, there was some discussion about whether or not interest should be accruing on the account, but I assume that there should be interest accruing on the account. $200 million is not small money. As a minister, deputy minister who has sat there for 4 years at the ministry overseeing ECG, what steps have you taken, will take, to ensure that this money is immediately transferred to ECG to enable them, perform their functions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do believe that yes, there are some monies in some accounts. The quantum, I've heard several figures from several directions. But what I do know, when I was in office, and I inquired because some letters came in from contractors who claimed that they were being owed money by PDS. So I took steps to find out exactly what was happening with the money. And the response I got from my contacts at PDS and the ECG were that they yet to sit down to do some reconciliation, after which they will see their way clear as to what to do with the money. But I think it's a subject of a court thing, and the wheel of justice sometimes, unfortunately, tend to grind a little bit on the slow side. So that I believe it is going on. But as to when the issues will be resolved, I'm afraid I cannot sit here and say. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just to follow up on that one. So you're saying that the entire Ministry of Energy, you as deputy, you became seized with the issues, you even inquired, and up to this moment, when as you sit before us to be vetted, you don't know what the figures are. You haven't tried to know what the figures are, and you can't tell this committee anything about the figures. Excuse me, you want us to believe that we should put the ministry back in your hands, given this your approach of doing work?
Mr. Chairman, it's, I the committee just a moment ago that I've heard figures from ECG, I've heard figures from PDS, my contact in PDS. And
what did ECG tell you? What figure did ECG give you, and what figure did
I cannot
PDS
say
give you?
I cannot mention the figures. I cannot recall exactly the figures.
I'm told that it is $200 million.
That's what you've heard. What I heard, I don't think it is that amount.
So what amount did you hear?
I don't recall exactly the amount, and I will not sit before this committee and give a figure which may not be correct.
So can you give the figure to us before we approve you? Which will be correct?
It's simple. Just go to ECG, they tell me, go to PDS, they tell me, and I give it to the committee. Simple.
So we should expect the figures from you?
Easy.
Now you're engaging in a lead banter. You're supposed to have 3 questions plus follow-up 2, but can you move on to another level? I think it's not fair to ask him, who is not a minister, to give you figures he may have picked out.
He admitted that he made inquiries. He admitted.
Reporting to the minister.
No, but he admitted that he made inquiries.
Yes, but to disclose that you hear is not a fair request.
But if we cannot do that, then there's no use we vetting. The minister could have just appointed his deputy. If he's been brought to us to vet, then we have a right to ask him those questions.
As we sit here, he is not the minister. If we approve him, he becomes, the deputy minister. If we approve him, he becomes the deputy minister. And you can bring him before your committee, and he will give you all the information that you want. But please, you have exceeded way beyond how much
Chairman,
you're allowed.
We are looking at his stewardship, because we approved him some time ago. He sat there for 4 years. He admits that he dealt with the matter. He admits that figures were given to him. But he's not telling us. And he's asking us to approve him to continue to stay there. And I'm saying that if that is how you've approached our welfare for the past 4 years, why should I approve you? Because I have a right to vote or not vote.
Honorable, already you have way exceeded how many times you are allowed. I deliberately allowed you as many as you can. If you finalize this...
Okay, my last question. You spoke about renewable energy. In the past 4 years, what steps have you taken to build local capacity to construct solar electrification infrastructure, such as the manufacture of solar panels and etc., in the country, so that we can accelerate reliance on solar source of energy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the solar space, fortunately for us, is being occupied mainly by the private sector, which in their own way have been putting up panels on rooftops all over the place. I see them when you drive around. The major company in Ghana right now, which actually manufacturing the panels within in country, is a company called 3SI. They are the company that is doing the panels at Jubilee House. I think 800, almost 1 megawatt at Jubilee House. So it's mainly the private sector that is driving the solar space in the country. As far as government is concerned, we have set the enabling environment by coming up with the bill empowering WePower to do the utility scale solar. But when it comes
Have you thought about one district, one factory in that sector?
Now, yes, Honorable Patricia PJ. How many questions has he asked? How many? Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable, I'd like to congratulate you for your reappointment as the Deputy Minister for Energy. Honorable Member, I would like you to brief the House or the committee on the government policy on street lighting systems. And I would also like to know the efforts so far made to pursue this policy and what has been your major challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will have to go back to the responses that was given by my minister when he appeared before this committee and the challenges he alluded to, the same that I am also aware of, and I'm sure most of the members of this committee are also aware. The thievery of these, the light and the cables all over the place. Government policy is to, as far as possible, light up the country everywhere. Unfortunately, starting from the cities, we are encountering these huge problems with theft, and that is really stifling the whole vision of the government. I recall my minister, when he was vetted, also alluded to the fact that he is thinking about going solar. So that is, I believe, where we will be heading, has been touted by the Honorable Minister for Energy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Honorable. Then it goes back to my next question. Considering the high rate of non-functioning of streetlights in many urban communities, especially in Accra and Kumasi, your minister really advocated, as you just mentioned, that the street lighting system, to reduce the theft, we should adopt the solar system. My investigation have also revealed to me that when these street lights, the solar systems, lighting systems are erected, we also have an incident of theft of the batteries. And maintenance cost is also equally high. You realize that these challenges have become a major issue in choosing the right lighting system for our streets. Is there anything that you can recommend? I'm looking at technology that you can recommend to address these theft and also the theft especially. Is there any system that you can recommend to address that issue? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the Honorable Minister for Energy said, it's something that we really have to sit down and look at. But what I do also know, talking about technology, is the solar streetlights, unlike the ones that were previously, in the system which had the batteries at the base of the poles. There are new ones which have the batteries actually on top of the pole, which is difficult to get to them. In addition to that, there are also street lights that are coming on in the system which have incorporated in the light video camera. So when the light is on, you have that. That also could be a deterrent to the potential thieves. So these are some of the things, but like I said, like the Honorable Minister said, it's something that we need to sit down as a nation and really come up with a solution that will benefit. Otherwise, it's just impossible. I think it was discussed at this committee when my minister was here that you put up lights on a major road and before you know it, in the next few days, the lights have disappeared or the cables have gone. It is really a huge challenge. And then the motorway was cited as an example. Just recently, just before I left office, we were tasked to do something about the lighting on the motorway. That is what is ongoing right now. But already, I have been told that the thieves are at it again before they even complete the work. So it is a major, major challenge that we all need to sit down and find a solution to. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'm done. Thank you.
Yes, Nilante. After that, I'll come to you, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. And let me take the opportunity to wish my friend, my very good friend, well, as he moves back to that office that for 4 years he never invited me. I was just glancing, Chairman, permit me first to say, I was glancing through his hobbies. And I saw something with some curious eyes, spending time with family. I just want to ask, how much time do you spend with your family in view of the fact that me and you sometimes have our places that we sit late into the night?
That, if you wish to answer that, you may.
Chairman, I want him to answer because
if you wish to, you may.
Chairman, that's all the same. My real question. You mentioned very important areas of renewable energy, solar, wind, hydro. Are we as a country exploring the possibilities of tidal waves, geothermal, and biomass?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Geothermal potential in Ghana is virtually non-existent. We don't have enough geothermal potential, no. But when it comes to tidal waves, the potential is there. A company in Adan, actually I've forgotten the name of the company, but I do know the chief executive. They tried to set up a project at Adan. Unfortunately, it was a small one. It was less than 1 megawatt. Unfortunately, the waves actually destroyed the whole thing before even it started generating to the grid. I do believe they are trying again. The last time I spoke with the gentleman, he was in Egypt trying to get some partners to come in and start the whole thing. And I think it was a month ago or so, when we were at Adan, I actually took a trip to have a look at the site. And the concrete had been smashed into pieces by the waves. So that one is something, its potential is there, but unfortunately, the exploitation of the waves that we have here has not been successful so far. Biomass, yes, it is expensive. I do recall when my minister came before the committee, he said something to that effect, that the question is, are we ready to bear the high costs of biomass generation? And that answer is still hanging. It is expensive. So that, as I'm talking to you, only about 6 megawatts have been approved, the PPA is in the process of being signed for a company in Kumasi that's going to use sawdust to try and generate power, but that one is not even generating as yet.
Mr. Chairman, one of the reasons why the world over globally we are exploring these other renewable sources is the pollution of the environment that we've suffered in our traditional sources of energy. Let me take you to the same area. Curiously, some days now, I've seen a lot of emphasis on energy sources apart from the traditional ones for the automobile industry. For example, hydrogen, biodiesel, ethanol, natural gas, and propane, all being used for the automobile industry, especially in Europe. In other places, they've even started using it for their taxis. Looking at the sort of, euphoria that is generated all the time when fuel is increased and its effect on the automobile industry and also drivers and those in this country, would you advise your minister that we look at that area and see whether that could come in to augment our overdependence on other fuels for our automobile industry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this is a very interesting point that Honorable Member has raised. You mentioned ethanol and government is looking at through the Energy Commission. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, my last question, and that one you yourself know is my interest. Waste management. Over the years, all of us have talked about waste to energy, waste to energy, waste to energy, almost every time. What are the real inherent problems that is preventing us from really exploring waste to energy, looking at the huge amount of money we spend in managing waste?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The simple answer is cost. It's very expensive to generate with waste. It's very expensive. And again, the question is, are we ready to bear that cost? That answer, again, is hanging. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honourable Member, when you say it's very expensive, can you explain further? Because I have seen something else at somewhere in the western region in the forest. There's a sawmill. They have a 3-kilowatt plant. All they use are the branches of the trees. The timber, before when they fell the timber. I think Samra Boyle somewhere there. Yes, I spent the night there, Summertex, and I went into their system. It is the branches of the trees that they use to generate the energy. It is the dust from the sawmill that they use. So, how expensive? When you say it's very expensive, how expensive?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, using sawdust and tree branches to generate small amount of energy within a particular institution is really no-brainer. It's not difficult and it's not too expensive. But when you go utility scale, where you need to generate some 20 megawatts and above or something in that region, it is very, very difficult, virtually unsustainable, because the source of the raw material, it really is difficult. A company actually came with a proposal some couple of years ago. They planted particular tree. I've forgotten the name of the tree. And the whole idea was to, not just Trufa, the whole idea was to use the branches, cultivate, use the branches, and then keep the main branch for other purposes. But the proposal they brought and the cost implication was just not bearable. Others who have come in wanting to use waste, the household waste, the same thing. The costs tend to be very expensive, and it always reminds me, the previous director of renewable at Ministry of Energy, when such proposals came, and a lot of them have come, he says, you just give it to them, and I bet you they will not be able to generate half megawatts. If giving them 10 years, they can't do it. It is very difficult. The First World, they are doing it at a great cost, but they can bear it. They can bear it. But here, I do not believe that we are really ready to bear such costs currently. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Honorable Susu. Yeah. Oh, no, Agaga has been waiting for, yes. Agaga first.
Mr. Speaker. Honorable Owuraku, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You had earlier responded to questions on rural electrification, and you did indicate that coverage is about 85%. Access to electricity is 85%. Yes. Now, you are aware that this figure came about as a result of the hard work of President Mills Mahama. They actually increased access from about 56% to 83%. That's at the time President Mahama left government. Now, within a period of 4 years, we are talking about 85%. What that simply means mathematically is that under your watch, we have only added 2%. It's not even exactly up to 2%. Now, Honorable Minister, is it the case that under your watch, you and your minister at the time, I hope you sailed through to join the current minister to serve our country, is it the case that you did not prioritize access to electrification, rural electrification in particular? Is it the case?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, that is not the case. I think earlier on, I made a point that we are thinly spread, and that really came about around 2016, that due to pressure from various communities, the then government or the then minister decided to assuage them, to try and then help these people. And in the process, we really did spread ourselves thin on the ground. So you have limited resources by way of material, but the projects that we embarked on are so many. That is why I said earlier that given the opportunity, I will advise my minister for us to try and complete what is already in existence instead of adding. But there again, members of parliament are the corporate. You come to me and say, oh, this community, Charlie, if you don't do it for me, I'm going to have problems. And you pressure the minister to embark on that project. So I will beg of members of parliament to give the honorable ministers time, space, to sort out what is already there instead of adding more to it.
So we don't come back to vet you, is that right?
No, it really is. It is a difficult one, and I do really hope that we will be given the space to complete what has already been started, so that we can complete them before we embark on new projects. So that's basically it. It's a question, and again, like I said, the last mile is always the most difficult. It really is, because hitherto you put you get a communities that are very close together. And if you put, say, $20 million investment, you light them all up. But when you get one community here, the next one is 5 kilometers away, it's very difficult. You spend 100 million and you manage to light only a few communities by sheer spaces between the communities that are being lighted. So the 100 million investment today, for argument's sake, may light up, let's say, 100 communities, whereas previously you could have lit up about 500 by sheer distance in the communities involved.
So, Honorable Owuraku, would you want to
Projects that were contracted. I've seen so many of them. When you go through the books, you find that there were no contracts, but the materials were sent for obvious reasons. And that is part of the problems we are encountering right now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
you've talked about renewable energy, hydro, etc. My area of interest is nuclear energy.
for Energy has told this committee that something that we all have to sit down and really come up with solutions because of the inherent problems that have been occurring. Lately. The particular place that you mentioned, I do believe we installed some solar lights there, and unfortunately, the batteries were at the base of the poles, and all of them have been stolen. It's something that is on the table of the Honorable Minister. He's very particular about it.
Honorable Deputy Minister nominee, and I can say, I'm a friend to when you owe, you don't tell your troubles. We need light at those places to prevent crime. Yes, we know that light have been stolen previously, but that should not be the end of the matter. Whilst we are looking for alternatives, we can use the lines one to provide light because this is an emergency. So please tell us something more comfortable.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I really am not in a position as I'm sitting before you as to, I don't know the direction or the decisions that the Honorable Minister has, but I would be more than happy to convey this message to him as soon as practicable.
Very well. Now it's Michael's turn.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable nominee, congratulations once more.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I am sure you would agree with me that corruption has been one of the biggest challenge for public life. And when it comes to the energy sector, recently, of 1.9 billion Ghana cedis was lost due to petroleum tax evasion in 2019 alone. What would you do to support your substantive minister to remedy this challenge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to start with, the last parliament or the last government, petroleum was not part of my portfolio. So I will not sit before this committee and pretend to know more than I do know. And then going forward, I really do not know the schedule that my minister is going to give me. But if given the schedule to look after petroleum, I will look at the situation with the stakeholders in the business and see if we can come up with solutions to the problem. And I do believe that a gentleman, one of our members, in the person of Honorable Tampuli, is an authority on this particular issue. So he is somebody that whoever...
Unfortunately, he's not sitting where you are.
Unfortunately,
so tell us what you know.
No, he's somebody that his experience we can tap into. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Secondly, one of the biggest challenge of the energy sector is also waste. It seems we waste electricity a lot in this country. What are the practical measures you will adopt to minimize wastage within the system?
Thank you very much. When we talk about wastage, we're talking about the general populace. You go to a house or an office, nobody there, and air conditions are blowing away for hours on end when there's nobody there. So it's all about communication. We have to sensitize Ghanaians in general to use electricity properly. I, for one, my daughters are here and my wife is here. I move from a room and I switch off the light. If I'm going to be out of the room for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'll switch off the AC. It's something that I've done since my young days, and it's just become part and parcel of me. Unfortunately, we don't do that. You go to places and they leave lights on overnight, air conditions on overnight, without anybody being around. It's something that we need to educate the public generally to use electricity efficiently. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ghana's energy debt is expected to surge to 12.5 billion US dollars by 2023. And this is found in a report that I saw on Ghana Web dated 15th February 2021. Would you say that the current regime has been very effective in the reduction of this debt, energy sector debt? As a Deputy Minister of State, what would you propose as ways of reducing this debt in your sector?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this report, Honorable Member is referring to, talks about if nothing is done. If nothing is done, there's a lot being done. And one of the most important things that's being done right now is the renegotiations of the PPAs, which is going to go a long way in reducing this potential debt overhang. And also there's this energy sector recovery program, which is being embarked on big time, competitive procurement of energy projects, least cost fuel procurement. A whole lot of stuff is being undertaken by this government to prevent us getting to that apocalyptic situation that you mentioned. I do not believe we're going to get there based on the steps that are being taken currently by this government. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Zuera, Honorable Zuera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning and congratulations, Honorable Nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Nominee, unlike my colleague and senior, Honorable Neil Van der Poel, I want to commend you for that statement on your CV, spending time with the family. And I wish that we'll see some more of that on the CVs of your colleagues here. It's very important. Still on your CV, you were Deputy Minister for Energy in charge of power, April 2017 to January 2021.
somewhere 2019 by your predecessor, Honorable MP then. I inquired, and basically it's to do with voltage. The voltage around Salaga is really not the best, and it's part of the ongoing works that Gridco is embarked on to try and on them. And like I said earlier, the work is projected to finish before the end of the year. And then once that is done, there will be a huge improvement in the supply of electricity to the good people of this country generally. Thank you.
Thank you. And to my last question. Last week, Exxon Mobil indicated that they would relinquish their stake in the deep water
not part of my portfolio. So
Committee, meters. Because of difficulty in acquiring meters, people are sleeping in the dark where electricity is available. What will you do to ensure that people in Pada, Boom, Nyamebechre are able to get meters? And I'll add that quickly to your bid to hold on in awarding new contract. Is it indefinite? Is it up to a point? So that other people who don't have electricity will also have access. Thank you.
Yes, I'll answer the last question first. That is not casting in stone. It's just a suggestion that I'm going to put before my minister. It's up to my minister as to what he really wants to do with that suggestion. I'm sure he will also have his own ideas. The meter question is a difficult one. When we do the turnkey projects, what happens is the projects do come with free meters. Meters are given to all the beneficiaries when electricity is extended to a community. But the community is given, I believe, some 3 months, 4 months after the project's completion for anybody who needs meter to contact the contractor for the meter. Here's a case where after the contractor has left the scene and somebody comes in and puts up his new building and then says, oh, they've connected this community but I don't have meter. But they are out of time. Otherwise, people will be always going for meters every time, and that, unfortunately, that is not how it works. And the next point of call is to go to ECG or NETCO to procure.
So, what's the policy?
The policy is what I said, Mr. Chairman, that once the turnkey project comes to an end, a time is given within which you put up your property and you'll be qualified. I think about 3 months. Outside of that time, you are not qualified to get free meter. You have to go to the distribution company for the meter, which of course incurs some costs. And
but
that is where the problem is.
keeps saying they don't sell meters. However, everyone knows that for a meter to be installed in your house, somehow you will pay money.
To a community through the turnkey project, they do have the right to get the meter for free. Unfortunately, those who come outside the time, that we do have problems with the complaints, and unfortunately, it always ends up on the MP's desk that they need meters. It's a difficult one. The ministry, I do believe, have previously procured some meters, which they do, as and when they come in, they do give out for free. So I'll urge Honorable MP to see the ministry for some allocation when we do receive some. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, before I ask my next question, I want to put on record that what the Honorable nominee just said is the beautiful thing on his table. But on the grounds in Akonkonti, within my constituency, is where the contract is done. And within the 3 months, the contractor fails to bring 1 meter to the whole community. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm happy that you say the ministry will engage us so that we tell you what is on the ground and we resolve it. Thank you. I move to my next question. You have spoken about transmission network. You have answered questions about it. What you've not told us really is how your government intends to improve the transmission network in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do believe I've actually said quite a lot about it. That is the work which is ongoing. The work ongoing is mainly, which is causing the intermittent supply of power to some areas is really geared at enhancing the transmission lines. The uptake of power within Ghana has gone up quite high. And the last several years, it's really gone up higher than even what Gridco had projected, and which has now is causing the overload of some of the lines. And that is what they are doing right now. And also to change some of the lines from 161 kV to 330 in order to reduce losses. And a whole lot of stuff is going on by Gridco to try and improve the supply of power to the country in general.
Okay, on street lighting, like the chairman rightly said, you don't tell us your problems when we have problems for you to solve. Street lighting. Among other things, we all know that street lighting is only used in the public space. You cannot use street light in your rooms. So when people steal street lights, they use it on another street. What it means is that there are lack of street lights. So another way of solving this street light theft is to make available street lights. That's it. If there is a street light here and a street light there is no point in removing one. So as much as I'm not holding brief for people who steal street lights, you can make it unattractive when there are street lights. So when you are considering measures in curtailing the theft of street lights, also think of making it available so that it doesn't become attractive to steal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now I'll come to leadership, please. Those who miss this one will take the next 10. Please. Very well. So I'll start with... in that case, you can do that, then Mundaga will conclude. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Leader, for yielding your time. Thank you, Chairman. And Honorable Nominee, let me start with this issue. The state recently incurred a whopping judgment debt of $164 million awarded to a Ghanaian company, GCGP Limited, by the International Court of Arbitration over wrongful termination of their contract. Now, the said contract was terminated in a letter signed by Honorable Boachai Jako and copied to you, your good self, and another deputy. It was captioned, Re-Emergency Power Purchase Agreement between the Government of Ghana and GPGC Limited, Termination Notice, and addressed to the Managing Director of GPGC Limited at Puma Energy, 7th floor Airport Square building, adjacent Holiday in Accra. Now, can you kindly tell this committee why you and all those whose willful acts contributed to this judgment debt against the state should not be prosecuted for causing financial loss to the state?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this one is a difficult one in the sense that the decision to terminate that contract, I do believe, was made based on information that was available to the decision makers. And as we all know, it's turned out not to have been correct. But I do believe that the judgment at the time was really based on what they believe was the right decision to do. And these things happen. You take genuine, honest decision, hopefully for the benefit of the country, and it turns out not to be the case. I believe that's what happened because I was really privy to a lot of the stuff that was going on. And unfortunately, we are where we are. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So the question is, why should you not be prosecuted for causing this loss to the state? $164 million as a result of your
omissions and commissions.
I don't believe it was a willful act on the part of the decision makers at the time. It was a decision that was taken with all sincerity for the benefit of this country, and it turned out, per the judgment, that it was not the right call.
Well, that is why I asked why he shouldn't be prosecuted. I'm sure it is the court that will determine if it was a willful act or
when
not.
it comes to opinion, leave it to his opinion. Our rules don't ask for his opinion.
No,
Why he should not be prosecuted, that opinion. It's a legal opinion. So leave that one out.
All right, so Honorable nominee, are you aware that the Volta River Authority functioned with an 8-member board instead of 9 for over a year in breach of the Volta River Amendment Act 2005, Act 692? Why did this happen? And is it fair to say that all actions that may have been engaged in by this board is null and void?
Mr. Chairman, regrettably, I'm not aware. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you are not aware that it functioned with less than the number required
I know, Mr.
as a
Chairman.
result of the omission by the appointing authority?
I know, Mr. Chairman.
I thought you were in charge of power.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not in charge of the appointment of board members.
All right. Mr. Chairman, on PDS, you have given a number of answers to questions related to that botched transaction. At the time of the issue, when it was topical, you claimed that initial investigations suggested there was a grand scheme to deceive the state. According to reports, you said, quote, "There appears to be a grand scheme to hoodwink the country. We are not talking about just small boys trying to do something." The government eventually terminated the contract after the alleged fraudulent company had controlled and managed a strategic asset such as the ECG for months. Now, how do you feel that despite the fraudulent representation allegations by your then substantive minister and your claim of a discovery of a grand scheme to hoodwink the state, not a single person is undergoing trial for at least deceiving a public officer or attempting to game the state?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do believe that the Ghanaian stakeholders who were involved in the procurement of the payment guarantee did what they were supposed to do by transferring the necessary amount of money to the company, I do believe it's called
acceptable. That is something wrong.
No, like I said earlier, the Ghanaian players did all that they had to do. All the monies that were supposed to go went. Unfortunately, the companies' representatives and, yes, the partners on the other side were the ones who, unfortunately, did not have the capacity to actually issue the guarantee that was required. And that is what I think the Ghana team should be commended for doing due diligence to unearth that nefarious act on the part of the foreign partners of the Ghanaian players.
So will you consider it which hand if another government decides to take a different approach to this?
If new evidence comes to light, then that is the law.
You've done 3+. How many follow-ups?
Well, I thought minority leader
No,
has
please.
yielded his time to me.
No,
so,
no, please.
so,
No,
so, so I.
No, please. Thank you.
Last one,
I
Chairman.
like
Last one.
the
Last
Sweeney
one.
strategy.
Last one. Thank you. Let me enjoy it small. Well, Honorable Nominee, by November 2020, IPPs were up in arms and cautioned that we might suffer doomsday if government didn't find money to pay the debts that government owed them. You accuse them at some point of unnecessarily creating tension and acting like a pressure group. I'm sure you recall. They obviously didn't take kindly to that and asserted that they weren't a pressure group, but an indebted group that only wanted to be paid. Fast forward to 2021, then power instability started. And again, you denied that it wasn't a financial problem. And you attributed the problem to generation shortfalls and West African gas pipeline issues. I have all the news reports here when you talked about some scheduled maintenance and how some of the plans that were supposed to come on board also failed. And then some West African gas pipeline issues. And you assured that it was going to be fixed by March 2021. That's what the news report suggested. Now, March came and passed, and your minister now attributes the power challenges to maintenance and improvement of distribution lines issues. As a result of scheduled maintenance and West African gas pipelines being responsible for the crisis or the challenges with maintenance and improvements of distribution lines. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the Honourable Member has got it totally 100% wrong. I think your timelines is absolutely way out, because I could never have said that in March that something was going to come to an end. Something was, the difficulties were going to come to an end, and I never said that it was generational difficulties that we are encountering. Fortunately, it was a 3-day wonder, 9-day wonder. They did something about it and just forgot about them again. So it's something that we have to really start pushing to get them to be up and doing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, there's this street light levy that your ministry manages, because it is part of the electricity bill that all of us pay. Do you think that amount is too small, or that amount, part of it should be going to a district assembly to enable them maintain these street lights?
That is something that we can look at, Mr. Chairman.
Street light levy, currently, what is it being used for?
It is used for the maintenance of some street, ceremonial street mainly. We do that, and also some of it is used as part of the rural electrification to help out in the to augment the limited budgetary allocation for rural electrification.
Chairman, is that not misapplication? Because if you say street light levy, all of us know that we are paying to deal with street lights. Now you are saying part of it is used for rural electrification. Are you stating that for a fact, or you are just assuming?
I will not be quoted on that, but I do believe that it permits us. We have the right to use it for lighting purposes within the country. It is not used for anything else but lighting, period.
And you also said ceremonial streets. At least I know I have one from Airport Runabout to Anaga Junction. It's one of the ceremonial streets. And Honorable Madam Patricia P.J. will tell you she's been KMA boss before, and now is a seeded municipal from Kumasi. We've never seen either your ministry or ECD trying to fix any of that street light. It's still the municipal assembly and sometimes the MP who try to fix it. So if you say some ceremonial streets lights are being maintained, which ones specifically, so that we can be able to zero down on those that are being maintained using the street light levy?
Yes, lights have been provided to the metropolitan assemblies for just that purpose. We have been giving lights to the MCEs of the major metropolis in the country, as and when they put in the request. And I personally have given them over the years since I've been at the ministry. When they come to complain about lights not functioning, the actual luminaires not functioning, we do give them the lights to go and change those that have died.
The Chairman, I was just following from his own answer when he said part of it is used in maintaining ceremonial street lights. Now, give me an example of the ceremonial streets that you maintain the street. You are talking about distribution of street lights. These are two different things.
Yes, Honorable. You mentioned the Abu to Airport Runabout, Kotoko Street from Ashantino Town Post Office to Swami Runabout, and the Honorable MC for Kumasi will bear me out. I have personally been to see them being installed, and that is part of maintenance. Changing dead lights is part of maintenance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No, what you are talking about is giving complete street lights to MMDCs to put it at strategic places where they require lighting. We are talking about maintaining the street lights that have been installed already. And you said that part of this street lights levy is used in maintaining ceremonial street lights. And I said, give me an example of some of the ceremonial street lights, because I know at least the one that is in my constituency is not being maintained by your ministry. So give me an example of one that your ministry is in charge and maintaining to ensure that the lightings are on.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the word maintenance, I include the changing of dead bulbs for new ones. Thank you.
I'm not disputing that, but you said that the ceremonial street, I said, give me an example of the ceremonial street that you are maintaining the street lights.
I just told you, I gave your own, Mr. Chairman, your own constituency. I gave example of your own constituency from Angranga Junction all the way to Airport Runabout, from Airport Runabout to Swami Runabout. That is one ceremonial street. The ones in Accra here, from the Liberation Circle all the way in front of Jubilee House, 37, all the way to East Legon, we provided them with street lights to change those that are malfunctioning. And that is what I mean by maintenance.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, on PDS, he said the reconciliations are ongoing. Did I hear you say that?
I said that reconciliation needs to be done, but the case, I believe, is in court right now.
Mr. Chairman, I want to find out from him, when, can he remember exactly when the termination of the PDS contract came into effect?
If my memory serves me, I think it was the 30th July 2019, I think, yeah.
And we are almost 2 years down the line, and reconciliation has not been done. And this is a sector under your supervision as the Deputy Minister for Energy. And you don't know the stage where the reconciliation has gotten to, and we have money that is between us and PDS that we are not able to retrieve.
Mr. Chairman, this is a matter of law. They proceeded to court, and the wheel of justice moves very slowly sometimes. That is not for me to hurry the courts.
Is it the reconciliation that is sent to court or the termination of the contract that is sent to court? Because we are talking about two different things. Yes, we all agree they were seeking redress in court, but we are talking about the account that you said reconciliation is ongoing. And I'm saying it's been 2 years, and we are not concerned about all the reconciliation of the accounts is part of what is before court.
Mr. Chairman, this forms part of the whole challenges that is going on right now between PDS and ECG. Really, I did not say it is ongoing. I never said that. I said it has to be done. And once the courts, I'm sure the courts will probably, whenever it comes to a finality, will give orders as to what to be done with the monies we are talking about, Mr. Chairman.
So I want to find out from him, the accounts that these monies that are lodged, is he aware of the bank?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Is it the account, is it what do you call interest earning account?
Mr. Chairman, I really do not know, but I would have thought so. There's no way that you put X amount of money in an account just to sit there. I'm sure it's earning some. I hope so. Anyway, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I just want certainty because you were the Deputy Minister in charge. So, in fact, my belief is that your minister even takes briefs from this sector from you because he has put you in charge. And you don't have this detail, whether that account is an interest deal, but you are wholly hoping.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't in charge of day-to-day running of ECG or PDS for that matter. No, we are policy generators and we oversee the agency, but we don't go in to find out which account GCB or UTB, whatever. It's not my job, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, earlier he was asked about the termination and how we got there, and he talked about the demand guarantee. It was later realized that it was not there. Do you think the right due diligence was done before entering into this contract with PDS?
Mr. Chairman, absolutely. Thank you.
If due diligence was done, how come that we didn't know that the demand guarantees were not available?
Mr. Chairman, demand guarantee is posted at the beginning of the contract. For there to be the contract going forward, you have to satisfy me that, yes, on this day, 1st of January, I'm handing over my assets to you. Where is my demand guarantee? The person or the company gives it to you, and then you can proceed to do due diligence. And that is exactly what happened. You can't do due diligence on something that does not exist.
So you went ahead to hand over our property to PDS. You are saying that when you have not done the background checks to be sure and authenticate information that has been given you, and you think that that is normal?
Mr. Chairman, that is absolutely normal. And I think the lawyers, you call it, you can help me.
Well, you said nobody can help you. Mic is off.
Presumption of regularity. It is presumed that the document that is being given to you is correct. Then you proceed to do your due diligence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, who was the transaction advisor in this PDS ECG agreement?
I believe it was IFC, Mr. Chairman.
Is it a Ghanaian company?
No, International Finance Corporation. That's a World Bank affiliate, Mr. Chairman.
And do they have an office here?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Are you aware whether they have advised government on any other thing apart from this PDS ECG?
I'm not aware. And in any case, they were not chosen by government. They were chosen by the Millennium Challenge Corporation.
That's MIDA.
No, they're two different things. MCC.
MCC, yeah.
Yes, that's different, not MIDA.
Mr. Chairman, earlier he was asked about the solar panel as a way of using renewable energy to conserve the excessive use of this thermal and hydro. And I remember he was once the chair of our Committee on Mines and Energy. And there was this program by the Ministry of Energy to use solar in the Ministry of Energy itself, try to get it to schools, hospitals, government buildings as a way of promoting solar energy usage in the country. Where are we with this program?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the ministry has put solar panels on its rooftop, which is augmenting our usage of power currently. The Jubilee House is almost complete, about 85, 90% completion. I don't know if you've been there recently. They've installed new car parks on which the panels have been put. It's almost 1 megawatt. And the next will be the Parliament House. That was my belief whilst I was in office, that once Jubilee House is complete, you come to Parliament House before other institutions are considered. But I believe when my minister came here, he said something like 2 megawatts is being piloted at the University of Ghana, I seem to recall. So this is part of that program which was rolled out, Mr. Chairman.
Do you have a tentative timetable or program that you are pursuing? Maybe secondary schools, you are hoping to get secondary school by this time, hospital maybe by that time. Is there such program, the ministry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe it's moving on smoothly, but like always, funds has been a bit of a drawback, but it's ongoing, albeit slowly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, earlier he was asked about waste to energy, and like I said, he was talking about cost. I don't know whether in determining saying it's expensive, you factored in the cost of managing this waste by the state, the devastation that we get from this waste during rainy season, the flooding, and all the other inconveniences that this waste creates. Is it that you factored this cost and it's still very expensive to turn this waste into energy?
Exactly so, Mr. Chairman. Exactly. The municipal waste, collection of municipal waste, and the rest, it really does add up the cost of generating power from waste. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, earlier he was asked about this rural education, and I heard him say MP should stop putting pressure for new projects to come on. I thought, and I knew for a fact, he as chair then of Mines and Energy, almost all these rural electrification projects that comes comes with a loan, it comes with a program, it comes with timelines, and the scope of the work. Is that right?
That's correct.
So when you were asked, can you give us time that you think those in Bulisa, is it Bulisa North, could get their stored rural electrification projects completed? You said you cannot give them, but that contract has timelines.
That contract, a turnkey project, came before the House. The House gave approval. But like I said earlier, there's been some challenges with Sinosure, the insurance company that guarantees the Chinese investment in, at least in this country. That is where I alluded to the fact that the Ministry of Finance currently, I do know, is talking to the Chinese in the hope of ironing out all the difficulties. And it's stalled, in fact. It's stalled other turnkey projects. The phase 2 of China Water, the Ashanti Western Eastern Volta, and I think Brahmaful regions of 500 odd communities, that has been stalled. And I do believe the company has used part of its own resources to import some of the materials so that they can at least start something. So that is where we are right now. The problem with the Sinosure has really put a dampener on most of these turnkey projects, which mainly are Chinese origin.
Mr. Chairman, I'm worried about the use of Sinosure. Remember, sometime this week in the chamber, the Minister for Health was also talking about Sinosure. But I know for the Sinosure insurance issues are for projects that are yet to start. Has it also affected ongoing projects? Because those insurance have already been issued, isn't it?
No, it's, Mr. Chairman, it's affected the release of funds. That is where the challenge is, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, last one. On the board of Bui Authority, I was surprised when you said you didn't know that 8 instead of 9 members were appointed. Did I get it right? Or
Said VRA, not Bui. That's a point of correction, Mr. Chairman. The honourable member actually said VRA, and I.
Oh, sorry. He said VRA. Okay. So, and you are not. You said you didn't know that they were 8 instead of 9.
How am I supposed to know that, Mr. Chairman?
Because the power sector is under you. You are the deputy minister in charge. So all the agencies working under that sector, they are supposed to be reporting to you. Unless they're in charge in your ministry doesn't mean that they report to you. And therefore you don't get to know anything that they are doing. Because if you are in charge, even when they are appointing those persons, yes, your minister may sign the letters, but you'll be present when they are being sworn in.
Mr. Chairman, I honestly didn't know that there were 8 instead of 9 members on the board of VRA. I mean, that assertion, I don't even know how true it is. So I would crave your indulgence to permit me to check if I get the opportunity. And if the committee so requires, I can report back to you. But as I'm sitting here, I am really not aware that 8 instead of 9 members are on that board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
How many members are supposed to be on the ECG board?
Mr. Chairman, I am not aware.
You don't know the number of the board membership of ECG?
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 agencies under the ministry. If I were to sit here and tell you that I know
I'm just talking about those that work under the power sector.
9.
But that's where
9 agencies under the power sector. And really, it's not, there's too many things to do than to go asking how many members of the board. I don't sign the letters. This is no big deal.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We have spent nearly 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So I'll just ask you one question. In reaction to the question relating to the finances of Gridco ECG. The suggestion was that they appear to be financially unhealthy. Is there a reason why they charge Ghanaians for the services they provide, but they are unhealthy? Do you know?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the monies that's supposed to go to Gridco is nearly not enough for the investment that they're supposed to embark on. The same with ECG. When my minister appeared before this august committee, I recall he said that even if all collections are made to ECG, it will not be enough to match the revenue and the expenditure. So that is where we are. The question is, are we prepared as a nation to bear the cost, an increase in the tariff for all of us? That is the question.
In effect, you're saying that indeed what we pay is not sufficient to cover the cost.
Exactly so, Mr.
That's
Chairman.
my problem, why we are not able to tell Ghanaians that, yes, the cost of producing power is this much, but we know it is expensive, so we charge you this much lower. So we know that truly, it's not that somebody has taken the money and has chopped it. We should be open about the things where my real problem is in our governance system, we pretend that government is like a tree dropping money from the skies or collecting money from the sky. Anyway, thank you very much for attending upon the House to answer questions. You will hear from us again. Thank you.
Thank you, members of the committee.
Sampayetia Obanyansa Fusu Munibia Wankana Sam Zema Futu Sam Kakre wa Supreme